Hey folks, it's John with KGTropicals.com. Welcome back to KGQandA. We're answering your questions that you send in to that email address right there. Send them in now. We'll put you on the list, and eventually your question will get answered. So, first question today comes from Sharon Gallietta. So I managed to win myself a 5-inch Trimitochromis intermedius through a local breeder's Facebook auction. I have no tank and just the one pending fish. I now get to shop for and set up a new tank for my beauty. I would like to keep the tank reasonably small. How small can I go? And how many other adults do you suggest I add? The local breeder said I need a 55-gallon minimum, but I'm hesitant to believe that. I saw your tank talk video and you suggested to take your gallons and divide by 2 to get a rough maximum number of fish. That would mean a 10-gallon tank might be able to hold 5 fish. 10 gallons does seem very small for these guys. Is 10 gallons cruel? Are they social to the extent that they can have issues from being in a small group or solo in a tank? I've been looking at between 10 gallons and 40 gallons. Thanks a million for the help. I've watched a bunch of your videos now. I really trust and respect your advice. Well, thank you very much, Sharon. This is a tough one. And it's a tough one because it's hard for me not to be mean or sound mean. You said you respect my opinion and my advice. I appreciate that. I'm going to give it to you straight because that's the only way I know how to do it. You mentioned putting a 5-inch intermedius in a 10-gallon tank. I'm giving you my honest opinion. There is a lot of people that's watching this video right now like this. They can't believe that you would have the idea of putting an intermedius in a 10-gallon tank. This is a hap. This is a fish that's going to be very large. Your question was, is it cruel? Yes, it's very cruel. You know, that's, I've said it in other videos, that's putting a Rottweiler in a crate designed for a toy poodle. I mean, that is not going to work. If you need to hold it in a 10-gallon tank for a couple of days, that's one thing. But to raise a fish like that with potentially 4 others, no. No. I'm trying to hold back here, Sharon. I really am, because I want to be nice to you because you sound like a very nice person, and I don't want to come across as mean. It would be a nightmare scenario to put that type of fish along with 4 others in a 10-gallon tank. I don't know any other way of saying it to you. You sent me this on Christmas Eve. It's now January 1st. I hope you haven't bought a 10-gallon tank and put the fish in there. If you have, start shopping for a bigger one. The second thing is your local breeder suggested a 55-gallon tank and you don't believe him. If he bred this beautiful fish that you've bought and you trust him to the point where you're able to describe his fish as a beauty and you were lucky enough to win it, then how come you don't believe him that he suggested a 55-gallon tank? He's right. I mean, and I would actually say for that type of fish, a 55 is kind of small. You can get away with it, but it's kind of small. I'd start out with at least a 75 for Haps. But again, you know, I'm trying not to be mean here. I really am. I take what that breeder told you and take it as the gospel because it is true. You do need to have that fish in a 55-gallon tank. If it was a fish that he was auctioning off in a Facebook auction, it's probably a fish that is very valuable, and I wouldn't want to put it in a 10-gallon tank. I'm kind of stumped on this one, Sharon. I apologize. This one was a tough one for me. Don't put the fish in a 10-gallon tank. Don't put it in a 40-gallon tank. You need to get something bigger for that fish. Maybe work out a deal with that breeder to hold on to the fish a little longer for you so that you can get a bigger tank, because that's really what that fish needs. All right, move on. Let me regroup here. Peter Renard, I guess you pronounce it Peter. I'm Peter from Belgium, but living in Spain. And my question is, do you use window washers or Plecostomus? I'm assuming he meant Plecostomus, with your African cichlids. I love your videos. Best regards from Spain. Now, there's a lot of people that would tell you, no, don't put plecos with Africans because they're from rivers and streams. They like a softer water. Africans like a harder water. I have found plecos to be fine with Africans. If you put them in there teeny tiny, they're probably not going to last long. Teeny tiny plecos are pretty difficult to keep anyway. If you get a good sized pleco and you put them in with your Africans, they do fine. I had a monster. He was like 18 inches in that 240 before I did the overhaul on it. With the sand now and all of that, I didn't know how the pleco would do in there, so I did take it out, and I actually regret it because there's a lot of diatom algae growing on the background and all of that. I wish I could put a pleco in there to take care of it. I'm sure it'd be fine, but with the sand, you know, I just elected not to put him back in there, and then we sold him. So they should be fine. I mean, I know a lot of people that put plecos with Africans, and they do totally fine. So, all right, but that's not me making an argument with the people that are going to say, no, they like softer water and all this. I know, it's fine. I'm just telling you I've done it and it worked. Okay. Tyler Naden? I hope I'm spelling your name right. Yes, you did spell my name right. I hope I'm saying your name right. Should I have sand, gravel, or bare bottom in a cichlid breeding tank? Right now, I have bare bottom. It's preference. I mean, if you put sand or gravel in there, your male is going to move it around, and he's going to configure it the way he wants it. In a breeding tank, it's purely for decorative purposes. If you want it in there to look nice, then go ahead. It also, gravel's a nice way to hide the poop. But you know, it's not absolutely critical that you have gravel in there. So it's a matter of preference. I used to keep it gravel in breeding tanks. I still do, just because I like the look of it better. But all of our fry tanks and all that are bare bottom. It's however you want to do it, my friend. Whatever you prefer. But like I said, the males are going to move it all around, so just be aware of that before you put it down in there. All right. I hope I'm not skipping one here. Okay. Hey John, I want your opinion. He's from Baghdad, Iraq. I want your opinion. It is very important to me because you, the fish legend on the planet. Really? Thank you. Well, I set up a new aquarium. It's a 45-gallon, and I like to put discus and angelfish together. Do you recommend that? I am so excited about it. Thank you for doing this. The fish keeping world will be grateful to you. That's a nice email right there, man. Does my head look bigger in this video? I've had discus and angels together. A lot of people would tell you not to do it. We've done it, and they've been fine. Angels can get very aggressive if they decide that they're going to pair off and breed. So you got to be aware of that, and you got to watch for that. But they come from the same place. They originate from the same place. They can go together. I don't care what anybody says. I've done it a lot, and it works. You know, yeah, there's a lot of your hardcore discus people that would say, no, you can't do it. There's no way. But I'm telling you from experience, yes, you can. Is it recommended? Maybe not, because, you know, you'd be better off to put your discus in there and then put some smaller fish, some less aggressive or potentially aggressive fish in there. But you can do it, and it works out fine. But just be aware that they might have the name angel, but if they decide they're going to breed, they're not always angels. For some reason, this email came through with very, very tiny print. So, hey John, love the series and love your channel. I was wondering, why do my fish sometimes go to the corner of the tank and swim up and down quickly? I've never had this problem until yesterday. Thanks, and can't wait to get some fish from you. Well, I can't wait for that too. Your name is Mauricio? I don't know why your email came through with little teeny tiny print, but well, you sent it from your phone, so okay, whatever. I've been in the African cichlid hobby for a long time. I've been in fish keeping for a long time. I know exactly what you're talking about when the fish group together in the corner and they go up and down in the corner, and I don't know why they do it. I can't answer that question. We put about 70 fry in our 125 gallon tank in the back of the store. And they're doing that now. They're all in the corner and they're going up and down. I don't know why they do it. I don't know what they're after. I don't know what they're thinking about. I can't explain it. But what I have known, or what I've seen, is that it's not necessarily a sign that something bad is happening. Now, if your fish are going to the corners up top and they're just kind of sitting there up top, kind of sideways, that's a problem, because that's an aggression issue. That's kind of a submittal to the dominant male, and you can have some aggression issues in the tank. But if they're going up and down, sitting in the corner just constantly up and down, I don't know why they do that. I wish I could give you an answer, but I haven't known that to be a sign that, you know, all of a sudden they're getting ready to die or anything like that. So you don't have to worry about that, but it is kind of weird. I don't understand the psychology with these fish sometimes. So all right, we're going to get in one more in here real quick because it's a repeat, and so I'm not really going to be able to do it, but I don't want to ignore anybody. Brandon Duran Alcantar, how to sex peacock cichlids. Love your videos, keep it up. Watch episode 11 or 10. I covered this in a couple of Q&A videos, and I'm not going to keep doing it in the same video. So maybe I'm going to have to start skipping these when they come through, but I don't want to be disrespectful. People are sending in these questions, and they're sending them in before I've already done it on another video and all of that. So I've covered sexing Africans in a lot of different videos, so definitely watch all the other videos. Give me some more views. That's cool. So, but thank you for sending that in, and hopefully you watched the other ones and already got your answer. But at least I'm saying your name on the series, so that's cool. So thank you guys so much for watching. I can't tell you how much fun I'm having with this series. I know I say it in every video, but it's true. I'm having a blast with this, and I know you're enjoying it too, because the videos are getting quite a few views. So thank you for that. Thank you for supporting the channel. If you don't want to miss any of these series or any of these videos, subscribe to the channel so that you'll get an email when we put out a new one, because we're going to be putting out probably 3, maybe 4 a week. So having fun. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode.